Welcome to Habeas Treasures, where I try to decipher this book, There's Treasure Inside by Jon Collins Black, in order to find one of the 5 hidden treasures. On today's episode, I'll be continuing my breakdown of the Pokemon box chapter, and specifically why I think the word Snapshot may hold the key to deciphering the overexposed photo the author includes at the end of the story. The paragraph that I want to focus on today is the last paragraph in the story. It reads, "Oddly, only one picture was preserved well enough to make any sense out of it. I don't even remember taking this photo, although I do reckon it was closer to the end of our day. This snapshot is now the only evidence that any of this adventure happened at all. I felt the least I could do was share it with you in this book." And here is the image the author is referencing in this paragraph. Now, one of the words that stood out to me as unusual and intentional in this passage is the word snapshot. If I were writing this part of the story and wanted to refer to the photograph, I would have used words like photo, or image, or picture, or even pic before I called it a snapshot. So why might the author have chosen to use snapshot? I think he did so because snapshot is an important word in Pokemon, specifically Pokemon Go. Here's what I mean. In Pokemon Go, there's an actual snapshot feature that allows you to place a Pokemon that you've caught into your real-world environment and then take a picture of it. The image with the Pokemon in it is saved in your phone's photo app, just like any other picture you take. Now, what's cool about the Pokemon Go snapshot feature is that every once in a while, a Pokemon called a Smeargle will photobomb the picture you're taking of your Pokemon. And when this happens, you also get the opportunity to catch the Smeargle in the game and add him to your collection. Okay, so how could this connect with the Pokemon box hunt? Well, the simplest way is that by including the word snapshot in the paragraph, the author might be giving a clue that a Pokemon is photobombing the overexposed photograph at the end of the chapter. And sure enough, there does appear to be a Pokemon that looks a lot like a Mewtwo hidden here in the picture. But I actually think it could be more than that. Remember how in Pokemon Go, when you snapshot a Pokemon, sometimes a Smeargle appears? Well, let's take a closer look at the Smeargle. A Smeargle is basically a cross between a beagle and a French painter. In fact, one of the cool things about a Smeargle is its tail acts as a paintbrush and it can appear in multiple colors. So maybe the author is making a painter or painting connection to the overexposed photograph. What if, instead of looking for a physical place in nature that matches the photograph, we are actually trying to find a painting or possibly part of a painting that matches the image? This makes the most sense to me because since the book released in November of 2024, there have been thousands of treasure hunters out looking for this image in nature without any success. I would have thought that if finding the treasure was as clear-cut as locating where this photo was taken, that somebody would have found it by now. So if the photograph is really referencing a painter or a painting, which one could it be? My best guess is that the reason the author ends the story with the line, "I felt the least I could do was share it with you in this book," is that he has left a clue to the painting's identity somewhere in the treasure book. I covered this thought in an earlier video, but I believe the line, "Oddly, only one picture was preserved well enough to make any sense out of it," could be a reference to the New Jersey commemorative state quarter design. The quarter features an image of George Washington crossing the Delaware, based on the famous painting by Emanuel Lutz. The author also refers to this event in part 1 of the book during his chapter 17 story, George Washington. The line, "make any sense out of it," could be a play on words since the New Jersey quarter is worth 25 cents. Also, in an earlier video, I discussed how I think the author may have hidden additional clues to the Pokemon box in paragraphs 2, 6, and 10 of the part 2 introduction. Well, in paragraph 10, he writes, "Each treasure box also comes with a special commemorative coin." I think he might be giving a subtle nod to the New Jersey state quarter design here as well. Anyway, the more I look at the overexposed image at the end of the chapter, the more I believe that it's been heavily modified and doesn't actually represent a real place in nature. Maybe it's part of a painting. Maybe the only clue is the hidden Mewtwo. Who knows? But I'd love to hear what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I hope these videos help you in your hunt.